Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm finally getting around to filming my June wrap-up for you guys. Disclaimer, I did film this, then I accidentally deleted the footage, and then I tried to get the footage back and it was all corrupted and just like would not upload into my editing software. So I'm back. I'm here filming. Part of the reason why I didn't want to refilm this is because I didn't want to take all the books back off the shelf. So I'm doing it now. So let's get started. Okay, so first we're gonna start with my rereads because I reread 3 of my all-time favorite books and I am not upset about it. So first I have Binding 13 and Keeping 13. You know, every once in a while I see quotes on TikTok and it was just time for a reread. I haven't read this book since last year, I think. Was it last year or was it the year before? No, it was last year. You know why? Because last year Redeeming 6 came out and I reread the whole series in preparation for that. So Binding 13, Keeping 13, 5 stars, will always be 5 stars. Nothing can change my mind. And I always reread, you can't see because of the sun, but I always reread my original copies with all my annotations, and it's just a fun time to go back and see what I annotated and all the fun quotes that I see on TikTok again. You know, I can proudly say that I hopped on the Binding 13, Keeping 13 wave before the rest of the population. Next, I reread The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It was nearing the end of the month and I needed a quick read to kind of end the month, and a reread of The Deal always does it for me. Garrett Graham, we know him, we love him. And it was just, again, a good time, 5 stars. Nothing can ever change my mind. This is one of those books that I have to read at least once a year, just because it makes me feel something. Especially because this book was one of, I don't want to say one of the first ones, but it just reminds me of a time when I was starting my reading journey, and it just brings back good memories. And I just remember like binging the whole Off-Campus series in like 1 week. So every time I reread, to bring me back to that time of my life, and it never disappoints, that's for sure. Okay, so next, I finished a big series in the month of June. I finished the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. So I have book 5, City of Lost Souls, and then book 6, which is City of Heavenly Fire. And I started the series back in March, I want to say. I think it was the beginning of March. So I rated both of these books 4 stars. It was a good conclusion to the end of the story. I'm kind of sad, honestly, when you spend so many times or so many books with certain characters, you're bound to miss them, and I'm gonna miss them, but it's done. They're done. And then, if any of you guys are aware, Cassandra Clare has 2 spin-off series. So she technically has a spin-off to the Infernal Device series and then a spin-off series to Mortal Instruments. But before I start those, it was recommended to me to read Tales from a Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, which is kind of like a series of short stories that follow Simon. Simon's a character in Mortal Instruments. He's kind of a pivotal one also, and his story kind of gets cut off in the books. So this is kind of Cassandra Clare's way of giving us that resolution to it, and it was a good time, honestly. I rated it a 3. It wasn't anything crazy, but it gave a lot of context for past books and future books. So that was kind of nice. Kind of a nice ribbon all tied up for the end of Mortal Instruments and the beginning of the next set of series. So it was good. I'm glad I read it. Again, nothing special. I'm filming a YouTube video. I don't know what's so funny.
Gosh, I'm gonna do.
Okay, the next book I read was Devney Perry's new release, Crossroad. I loved that book. I've read a lot of Devney Perry's books. They're just such good, easy, fun times. Like, I think the plots are very repetitive because she kind of does the same rotation of tropes, but they are always just a good time. Like, they're never bad. They're just those nice, easy, casual reads that, like, you just have to read them. And I read her new release, Crossroad, it was like childhood friends to lovers to strangers back to lovers, and I have forgotten about that trope. That is like a long lost trope in my world, and I haven't read a book like that, I feel like, in a long time. Anyway, I rated that a 4-star. I really loved it. And then I was kind of on the childhood friends to strangers to lovers kick, so I picked up Say You Still Love Me by K.A. Tucker, and I've had this book for so long, and I never picked it up because honestly I never knew what it was about. I just read the Simple Wild series by K.A. Tucker, and I was like, oh, another K.A. Tucker book, like, can't go wrong. And I picked it up like after I finished Crossroads. I was like reading the blurbs of like my books on my TBR, and I was like, oh, that's also childhood friends to lovers to strangers to lovers, and I was kind of on that kick, so I also rated this book a 4-star. Fun time. And then our queen, Lauren Asher, also released a new book. And anytime Lauren Asher releases a new book, it's just the best. It's just the best time ever. And I will literally blindly pick up a Lauren Asher book. Like, I read all of them. I've read all of them. All 9, I think. I've read the 3 Dreamland Billionaires, the 4 Dirty Air, and then the 2 Lakefront Billionaires. So Love Redesigned and Love Unwritten, which is book 9. And I just love it so much. Lauren Asher is just an amazing author, and her books just like never fail to make me feel something. Her books just never fail to make me feel something, so I rated Love Unwritten a 4.5. I wish it ended a little differently. Like, I wish we got a little more out of the epilogue, but I had a good time nonetheless, and I can't wait for the 3rd and final book in the series. It's called Love Arranged. I don't know if it's an arranged marriage or it's not arranged. It's a fake marriage. It's gonna be so good, and I need that book like ASAP. So Lauren Asher, if you are watching this and you want to send me an ARC, I would not be against that, and that's all I have to say. That would be highly appreciated, and I'd be grateful forever. So, then the last books on my June list was the entire Heartstopper series, so volumes 1 through 5. And I decided to finally pick this up because I've had Heartstopper again for like maybe 2 years, I feel like this at this point, and I never read them because I just didn't. I knew it was a graphic novel, I just was never in the mood to read them, but I really wanted to watch the show. So I finally picked it up, Heartstopper, and then I read volumes 2 through 5 after, and then I watched the show, and I love the show so much. I've watched it 2 times through. I binged season 1 and 2 in one day, and then I rewatched season 2 the day after. And then I restarted it from the beginning the next week, and I did 1 and 2, seasons 1 and 2 again. So it's safe to say I have a problem, and I'll probably watch it maybe 2 more times before season 3 comes out, because I think season 3 comes out in like October, and I kind of need it now, please. So like, Alice Oseman, Netflix, please release season 3. I know they're done filming, but now it's just like editing and all that fun stuff. I'm almost positive they wrapped filming. But it's safe to say I have a new hyperfixation. I didn't rate these just because I liked them. I did. I just like didn't know what to rate something that was such an easy and quick like read, especially because it's not in a format of a real book, so they just went towards my reading goal. They were not rated, but I guess if I was gonna rate them, I would give them all 5 stars because they're great. They're great. And that is my June wrap up. I know it's been literally ages, and it's okay. Trust me, I've felt it too. But hopefully I'm back this time for good. You guys will not be waiting a whole month for my July wrap up because it's almost the end of July, and so I will be filming it at the end of July and getting it up at the beginning of August. We're not going to do it in the middle of the month like I did this month, but I just didn't feel like skipping it. So better late than never, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!